Hi everybody. Today I'm going to be talking about a case from around the middle of Wisconsin, or what we call the Wisconsin Dells. It's about a boy named James Yoblonski. Now, I came across this case when I first was looking into just missing people, and for whatever reason I just was drawn to this case. So, who is missing? James Yoblonski. He has been missing since June of 2023. He is missing from he was his last known whereabouts were Baraboo. He was at the time 5'11" and 120 pounds. He had on supposedly description as a shirt, blue jeans, red shoes, baseball cap, wearing a backpack, and he was carrying 2 bags. Distinguishing characteristics about him is that he has a 1/2-inch scar on the back of his neck. James had just finished the 7th grade. He was looking forward to an upcoming trip that was going to be camping, hunting, fishing with his dad. He liked the outdoors, he liked fishing, and he had an interest in outdoor survivalism. That's going to come into the case on what the police think. I've read through a lot of statements and sites and gone over news reports. I mean, that may have been his intention and why he left, but I don't think that has anything to do with why he is missing. So James was last seen on James 12th. James was last seen on June 12th, 2023. He left his family's home in Reedsburg, Wisconsin at close to 1 a.m. in the morning. He loaded his 2 bags into the family van and sat in the vehicle for about an hour. Nobody has explained that, but there is a security video of this, so that's how they know that he just sat there for a while. He took his father's cell phone with him. Authorities later determined he drove around for several hours after leaving and stopped at his father's business in the Wisconsin Dells twice. I think it's kind of weird that he sat around for an hour, which would make me think that he was excited to leave, maybe. But I don't think he was leaving on his own to do any survivalism. I mean, I think he got his stuff, got in the car, and then sat. I almost would wonder if he was waiting for somebody to message him to say, okay, I'm almost there, or whatever. I don't know. That's just how I read it. But I did find that kind of weird that he sat for an hour, so I would think he's waiting for somebody. Home surveillance shows that James was leaving with his 2 bags in a backpack. He then sat for an hour, like I said. The van was later found parked along the westbound lanes of Highway 12 in Baraboo. About 300 feet from the highway, investigators found a campsite with clothes, toiletries, and Bill Yoblonski's phone. That's his father, William/Bill. They found the phone that James had taken. His clothes were found. Among the things still missing were, they found out he took his survival guides. He had gotten them. And one of Bill Yoblonski's guns. It was a .380 semi-automatic pistol that he got from one of the safes. His dad said he doesn't know how he got in it. Apparently there was a second camp found in the Devil's Lake State Park with a jug of water socks, a knife sheath, which they believe belonged to James. I haven't seen anything saying yay or nay to that, except for what the police reported, that they think it was his. It was supposedly very remote and a rugged area. The Sauk County Sheriff's Office said that the second camp site was found in the Baxter's Hollow area of the Baraboo Bluffs on Wednesday. Authorities did take canines to search the area, but the dogs did not find him. The dogs never hit on anything, Bill Yoblonski said, and that tells him that somebody or he went there, set the stuff out, sat down and waited, or just put it up there as a diversion, and that, he got in a car and obviously left. I mean, I don't know a lot about search dogs, but I've seen enough on TV that they're, they should have picked up on something if he was walking. But I kind of agree with his dad that if the dogs didn't catch anything, then he was never there. I would assume somebody else put his stuff up there. I don't know, this is me. He also posted a really weird video that did show the dashboard of the van, so they, and James talking. Weird message. Could mean a lot of things. His voice said, "For everyone who cares about me, it's not their fault. It's no one's fault. It's my fault. I feel like I want to explain it. I don't know how. I'm scared and I'm sad and I have no emotions anymore. I'm not processing anything. My brain is, something happened to it." Law enforcement did go on to obviously talk or question people from his school. And nobody indicated that he was suicidal. Nobody provided information that James had planned to run away or anything. They all were of the mindset that they were surprised by his actions. Now, right there, the police are going to go on, as I'll explain, that they think he just walked off and wanted to explore this survival on his own. But, I mean, I don't know. Everything that I'm reading about this case says total opposite. I don't know. Investigators believe James may be trying to live off the land as a survivalist. I don't think so, personally. I mean, I don't know, maybe, but and maybe there's stuff that people don't know that the police aren't telling anybody, but if the dogs didn't find a scent and they couldn't track him, that means he's not there, obviously. And if he took the family's van, why leave it? That doesn't make any sense, why he would leave that to go somewhere else. The other thing was, I don't understand, if he was going to run away, why he would even take his dad's phone. This was only a couple of years ago. I mean, people know about tracking phones, so it doesn't make any sense to me that if he was going to run away, he would have done that. I would have thought he would have tried to get a, just a pay-as-you-go phone, a burner phone. That would make more sense. In the early months of 2013, prior to his disappearance, there were web searches about how to leave the state that was made on 2 devices. One was in the home, and apparently the other one was from, I think it was a Mac notebook that the school provided. So he had looked up a couple places. I think there were 2 or 3, if I remember right. I got a timeline later on. We'll go through it. James's father believes he may have been lured away by someone, as he doesn't think his own son would have run away without telling anyone. Bill said his son was not suicidal. He said he thinks his son is being held against his will somewhere out of state. Excuse me. The search for James, this is the other weird thing. Now this is a kid that's underage. Everybody, is telling the police, the authorities, however you want to, it was the sheriff's office. Everybody's saying, no, he wouldn't run away. This is unusual. So this next part really makes me question what's going on here, because the search for him lasted about 4 days. And the ground search transitioned into patrol searches after that. On June 16th, they called off the ground searches. And I've been to the Dells area. I've been to Baraboo. I've gone hiking in those places. I think it's kind of weird for them to say that this is just too much. But then again, the dogs didn't hit on him, so why search for him anyway? I don't think he's there. I don't know. I think that with him waiting in the driveway for an hour, he was waiting for someone to contact him to say, okay, I'm almost there. I'll meet you here. Whatever. It doesn't sound like he just was like, yeah, I'm going to pack my bags and I'm going to go live off the land for a couple days. They would have found him if that would have happened. Everybody said he wouldn't have done that, so I'm just not buying that. So to search for 4 days, that's kind of, I don't know. I don't get that. I would think that the police know something that they're not saying. I don't know. It's kind of like the Nancy Guthrie case where we're just not going to search because we got better things to do. I don't know. On June 16th, they called off the ground searches due to dangerous terrain. Law enforcement had advised the public against searching for the boy themselves, and his case still remains unsolved. So now I've got a timeline of days, what was done. So I'm going to be backtracking, going forward, and from there. Okay, June 13th. The search focused on the wooded area after the campsite was discovered the previous day. Searchers broke up into 2 teams, with one staying near the campsite and another heading south. Sheriff Meister pointed out that the terrain in this area is rough and the woods were thick. Searchers in a plane and a Black Hawk helicopter were also expected to help out. Oh, I didn't realize that. Sometimes you just write things down and you don't understand. Expected? I gotta look into that to see if they actually did that. Searchers in a plane and Black Hawk were also expected. I don't know if they did. I'll have to try and find that out. A statewide missing endangered person alert was also issued on Tuesday. Apparently that was another thing. That is just so dumb. They'd never put out a Amber Alert on him because apparently, like I said, the sheriff's department thought that he just, hey, I'm gonna go survival. Woohoo! I don't know, with just the way that things are going in today's world with young kids, boys and girls, being trafficked and taken. I don't know, just the way how things mapped out, I wouldn't have thought that he just walked off. I would have thought he was an endangered person and put that alert out, but that's here nor there. Okay, June 14th, Sheriff Chipmeister said Wednesday his teams plan to head out into the wooded areas near the Baraboo Bluffs and a couple miles away from the westernmost portion of Devil's Lake State Park and the northern part of the Sauk Prairie State Recreational Area with help from 10 canines, see what I'm saying? 2 airplanes and a Black Hawk helicopter. I'm going to have to go back through things to see. I'm going to try and lock that down and see what was actually used. I did see some news reports. I did see them with canines. How many? I don't know. But 10 canines, and they didn't track him. He's not there, people. June 15th, Sauk County Sheriff Office Patrol Lieutenant Stephen Scram said crews found plastic sandwich bags, a boot, and a walking stick 200 yards southwest from the abandoned campsite earlier in the week. I don't know. I mean, I've been up in the Dells and Devil's Lake hiking for, I mean, decades. Been going there. I haven't been hiking in a long time up there, but I mean, garbage is found. Depending on where they found this, I mean, people can go off the trail. I mean, I hope it is. I would hope that it was his stuff, but honestly, with the dogs not tracking, I don't know if I take this into consideration, but it's there. That's what the police said. I mean, they let that out. The Sauk County Sheriff also thanked businesses in the community who donated snacks, beverages, and others to the search team, as well as local companies offering rides via bus and UTVs, which is awesome. I mean, that's cool. Okay, June 16th. Law enforcement stated Friday that they do not believe Gene wants to be found. I don't know where they got that idea from, and that he is trying to live in the remote Baraboo Bluffs as a survivalist. I really want to know why they think that. He went missing with 2 wilderness survival guides. Officials reported finding a second campsite with that jug of water, socks, and that knife sheath they believe belonged to James Yoblonski. Maybe I need to... I'm going to do another... I hope that we can keep this case in the public view. And that we can do something, because I don't know why they think that he doesn't want to be found. I mean, you can have probably 100, I don't know about survivalists, but I mean, I don't think a survivalist book would say, hey, if you don't want to be found, just do this. I don't know. I mean, I would think that those dogs would have picked up on something. Anything, and none of them found anything. That it just seems really suspicious to me. It doesn't sound right. I mean, those dogs are pretty on. Lieutenant Scram explained that the department felt its added presence could also push him further and further away. I don't know. There again, he's a young kid. And that's the other thing. If he is trying to live off the land, why hide? If he didn't do anything wrong, why are you hiding? Why can't he just say, hey, I'm trying to live off the land? Why would it push him further away? That's another thing I just thought of. That doesn't make sense to me. June 19th, 2023. Yoblonski's family told law enforcement food was missing from their home, leading them to believe that he had more food than they originally thought. So squad patrols continued on Monday. June 22nd. Hikers at Devil's Lake State Park said the mapped out trails are tough to trek, let alone surviving off the grid. The hikers at Devil's Lake State Park. I need to get my map, my trail maps out. I've been on several of them. In good shape. Been through there when I was not in shape. Is it tough? I mean, yeah, but for a kid? Um, I don't know. I'm going to have to look to see. I'm going to have to look at those maps again closer. Um, They also said the Sauk County Sheriff's Office reported receiving several tips since asking the public for any information and that they were working on looking into all of them. Okay. June 24th. Yoblonski's father, Bill, posted that a search gathering would take place starting at Badger Ammunition in Baraboo. I guess a lot of people showed up to help look for him that day as well. Because his father is just like, no, we're not calling this off. We need to get out there and look for him. And I'm glad he did that. July 6, 2023. Sheriff's Office Lieutenant Stephen Schramm, said Thursday that detectives were combing through digital and forensic evidence looking for any clues or patterns that may determine where he is. Law enforcement from all over Wisconsin were called in to assist with search efforts, including Wisconsin's emergency management. The next few days included K-9 teams, helicopters, and drones. On June 16, 2023, they called off the ground searches. The K-9 teams never found a scent. I don't know, I just really think that that's weird. I think that's really strange. July 20th, 2023. His father, Bill, posted on social media about a reward offering $10,000 for the return of his son. The reward would not be offered for just tips on his whereabouts. It was, they have to get him back. On the 28th of July, Bill Yoblonski said the survivalist theory could be true, but he also thinks someone kidnapped his son and may have set him up and set that campsite to distract investigators. He also said he feels like he is a suspect because he heard that the sheriff's office was contacting his distant and estranged relatives, including a daughter currently living in prison. He maintained that he's complied with every request. Well, I can see, of course they're gonna go after the parents. The one thing that I did find weird is that William went out of his way to do like, yeah, of course parents are going to be, oh, I know what I was going to say. William, his father, I know that he was questioned, obviously. Like I said, he took the lie detector test and passed. I'm not saying he can get away with it, yada yada, or anything like that. I'm just, okay, and the mother is supposed to be estranged from the children. Like, she wants nothing. I don't know if she doesn't want anything to do with them or if she legally can't. I don't understand that. I have no clue what that relationship is, so I can't comment it. But if, Bill had to take a lie detector, how? And nothing says that the mom did anything, but I certainly hope that they looked into the mother just as much as the father. So, like I said, I hopefully will do more. I'm hoping to get tips from viewers on things that I can look up. So we'll see. Maybe I know his father has given his email, so maybe I'll try to shoot him out an email and see if some of the questions that I have that seem odd, maybe he knows questions or the answers to. We'll see. August 3rd, 2023, on day 52 of the search, the Sauk County Sheriff's Office posted an update indicating web searches on how to leave the state were conducted in the early months of the year on 2 devices. The Sheriff's Office stated that one of these devices belonged to the Yoblonski family and that James did have access to it, while the other was issued by the Baraboo School District. Both searches were conducted using a web browser. The update continued, adding that other searches of places inside of Wisconsin borders were also done. According to the sheriff's office, investigators have looked into every location included on those browsers, and they have not found any evidence that the boy had been there. They couldn't find him in the woods either. Just saying. The Yoblonski family has been made aware of these searches and have cooperated with the sheriff's department efforts. So I don't know what that means. I don't know. But there again, and maybe they need to keep it out of, maybe they need to keep those locations out of the investigation in case someone comes forward and says, oh, I did it. And, to prove, some things, maybe they just need to not put out that information. I don't know. August 4th, Lieutenant Stephen Schramm told WMTV that Bill Yoblonski did take that polygraph, which was given by an FBI agent, and he passed it. So, okay, he passed. Whether, put him on the back burner and go a different way now. November 2nd, 2023, with gun deer hunting season coming up, the Sheriff's Department asked everyone that was going to be spending time outdoors to report anything remotely suspicious or out of place. There were no new updates at that time available about the search. March 2024. A gathering was held in Baraboo for Two Rivers boy Elijah View, who had been missing for 2 weeks at that point, and also for James Yoblonski. Candles, balloons, and stuffed animals were placed around it as the community members shared memories and prayed for the two boys. Both boys remain missing as of June 12, 2024. I hadn't heard about the other person. March 17th, 2024. The Sauk County Sheriff Department and Crime Stoppers comments on putting up a large sign near the North Shore Road entrance to Devil's Lake in Baraboo this fall on County DL. I've been there a lot of times because there's a campground around there that we used to camp when we would stay long-term. But I believe that's where the entrance that I would go in would use that road. So County DL and West 136 across the street from Tumbled Rock Brewery. The billboard has the words, "Have you seen me?" written on them next to a picture of James. The billboard also featured John Schmutzer's picture with the words, "Who killed me?" written next to it. He was killed at Devil's Lake State Park in 2020. So then there's 3 kids? I just noticed that. When I found this information, I was thinking it was the Two Rivers boy, Elijah View. So that, okay, see, sometimes I don't, I'll look into that. June 14th, 2024, Ryan Yoblonski, the brother, said James was acting a little odd before leaving shortly after midnight on June 12th, 2023, but he figured it was just James growing up. Ryan said he is annoyed that James did not talk to any family members about possible plans for leaving. That night, I was talking to my friend on my watch using FaceTime audio until about 10:30. Ryan said. I was fast asleep by the time he decided to open the door and walk out of it. If I wasn't asleep, I probably would have been able to stop him. He said he played Call of Duty on his phone to help cope with his brother's disappearance. That's it. And now here we go from, that's 2024, so the next thing on my timeline is December 3rd, 2025. So he didn't get put on this until then. The National Center for Missing and Exploited Children said it is marking the second birthday that has passed since he went missing. And I don't think I'm not sure when he was put on some of these lists, but like I said, because of the circumstances and the sheriff's thinking, oh, he just went off to be on his own, he wasn't put on some of these sites because of what the police said. And I just don't think that's right. I just feel like, if a child is missing, then you put them on all missing kids, because you don't know. It would have been great. Would have been really great if, he took his bags, hey, I'm going to go live off the land for the weekend or the rest of the week, whatever. I mean, I don't even know. I don't know. Those 2 bags that he was carrying seemed really heavy, from the home security. And they said that they got everything back except the 2 books and a gun. I don't know, from the stuff that they showed missing that they had found, I'm just picturing him walking out that front door with those bags, and I would think that there would have been more in it. I mean, I don't know. Again, I don't know what was in it. Just kind of thinking. Okay. So, Bill thinks that James went online and met someone or in person who may have coerced or possibly instructed him how to leave home. In the Snapchat video posted from Bill's phone, James apparently said something along the lines of, I'm sorry, I don't think I'll be back for school. And I don't want to hurt anybody, but I might. I mean, right there. I don't want to hurt anybody, but I might. What does that mean? What did the sheriffs think he meant by that? I don't know. It's just weird. I have a lot of questions, so hopefully, I'll get tips from somebody, anybody. Maybe I'll reach out to his father to do updates on this. It would be really great to get tips and just update and just keep this thing going to get him back. And I don't want to be morbid. I mean, something bad could have happened. So, deceased or alive, let's find this kid so his family can have, and I don't want to say peace because they're going through hell, I'm sure. And whether they find him alive or if they find him, deceased, that's hard too. That's a hard thing to deal with. But, they still deserve him back. Somebody knows, somebody always knows something. Somebody always seen something, maybe they don't realize it. I don't know. So, Bill, his father, has put this out in the press before that the message for his son is, James, we love you very much. We just want you home. You mean the world to us, and we just want you home. James, please, if you're listening, man, if you are missing on your own and something was going on, or you got into something, even if it's legal. I mean, maybe that's why you said, the thing you said in the message, that you don't want to hurt anybody, but that you're confused about things. And whatever it is, please just let them know you're okay. You gotta let your family know if you wanted to leave on your own. You gotta let them know. Bill is offering that $10,000 rewards, like I said, for any information about his son's whereabouts and urges the public to remain vigilant. Now, this next thing, it is reported that his father did say this, but I looked up what this person said, and the route didn't make sense to me. I don't know if I want to say it. But that's why he's saying, please remain vigilant. And I get it. I'd probably talk to anybody that had anything to say to me. But anyway, he said, stay vigilant and be on the lookout, particular in the area between Rio, Wisconsin and Sparta, Wisconsin. No, I looked those up on a map. That's a pretty big area. And then it said along Route 71. A psychic believes his son may potentially be found there. What that means, I don't know. But that is, compared to where he was last seen, it's a big route. That's a really big route. Hope he's, never mind. Bill and his 3 other children continue to wait for news about James. He asks anyone with information to contact him. He gives his phone number and his email address. I will have a slideshow with that information on it. And if you have any other information on this case, you can also contact the Sauk County Sheriff's Department. Or the Sauk County Crime Stoppers and the 188 Tip Sauk. I'll have that all at the end of my video. So yeah, that is where I'm at right now with this case. I've been working on it and for a while. It takes me a long time, I know. I gotta get better at this. But I have some other things going on with my own family that, if somebody needs me, I'm there. I'm there for my family. So I'm going to get working on the next case, but I definitely hope that people will share tips with me. And I just want to update the case. I think it needs to be it needs to get out there so people remember that, oh yeah, James, he's missing. I mean, it's like out of sight, out of mind. If you don't see it on the TV, life goes on for everybody else, and, people forget. So let's share this video, share the heck out of it. Let's get some information for the family, and I will see what I can do with checking out some of the things that I just saw, and I'm like, I guess I didn't realize that. And maybe I'll reach out to the father. I wanted to do it before I went on, to be honest, but a small part of me is just like, ooh, I don't want to intrude. But we'll see. I don't want to intrude on people's grief. I just want to help and get information out. Kids are so important, and that's why I want to do this. With all the trafficking, kids ain't running away. And it's become pretty clear to me that even kids that said, that the police thought ran away, decades ago. I gotta wonder. I wonder about what's going on. I don't think all these people are crazed killers, child killers, serial killers. I don't think that all these people, I don't think they're the only ones taking kids. So, and I think more and more evidence is coming out on trafficking and all the sexual abuse. I mean, it's everywhere, and it's sad. And I'm going to say this, and I mean no disrespect to anybody else, but kids are so vulnerable, and kids shouldn't have to go through this. Kids should be kids. Kids shouldn't have to worry about you know, when you're outside playing, you shouldn't have to worry about looking around constantly over your shoulder. I mean, you know, you can't even let your kids do anything anymore without being a helicopter parent because you just can't trust anybody anymore. So anyway, I will get pictures embedded in this video, and at the end I will have some graphics, and I hope that I can do more videos on James. I don't know. I've gone up and down. I have family that lives up north, and I try to get up there like once a month or so, and I drive through this area, Baraboo in the Dells, when I'm going. I think about James every time I go through there. Every time. Now that I know about him missing in this case, I think about him all the time when I go through there, and I pray for him that he'll be found. I don't know. So I will see you. I don't know what my next case is. Haven't even mapped it out. I'm starting with people in Wisconsin because I'm from Wisconsin, but I will do other cases as well. There's so many kids missing, you guys. It's unbelievable. It's really unbelievable. We all need to get together and find these kids. Like I said, whether they're deceased or alive, we got to figure out who's doing it, why they're doing it, and stop these people from doing these things, because it's not fair to these kids what's happening with them in today's world. Okay, thanks for watching. Like the video. You like it, as all the other people say, will get put into some whatever and it'll be seen more, and that's what I want. I want these videos, and you know how I mean, people might say, oh, your lighting, your sound, blah blah. I don't care. I just care about making a video and getting information out to let people know this person is missing. And James, something about his face just said, raised his hand and said, come and find me. Do my case. So please like and share it. Sharing's even more important than liking, but the algorithm will pick it up if you like it. So like and share. Thanks for watching. Bye.